Welcome back everyone to the channel. So in this video I want to take a look at simple and effective strategies to help you as a classroom teacher handle disruptive student behaviour. So number one, shift the focus. Respond, don't react. If you're a student coming in worked up or in a situation, lesson where the energy of a student starts to get escalated or towards that more power struggle situation, don't go there. Okay, remind yourself, say your mantra as a teacher, stay calm and composed. Now, it's not going to be easy. It's going to be a discipline. It's going to take a while to get there. But the more you train yourself to stay calm and composed in those situations, the better you're going to respond. And everything you have a what if. So if I go to the situation, this happens here, then what happens if the student pushes me in this situation? Okay, and again, it's not going to be perfect to start with, but the more you're sort of going through that process, the more experience you get going through that process and the more confidence comes from there. Use calm body language and tone. Okay, keep yourself calm. Don't be sitting there hunched up, getting in student space or anything like that. For me, in these situations, if a power struggle does happen, I take a step back from the student. Okay, it's almost like going, okay, look, I understand what's going on. It doesn't mean the student gets away with behaviour, but you're just de-escalating it. Okay, a lot of students these days, or whatever the proportion is of students these days, comes to saving face. So they want to be seen as, they're not going to back down and been seen get into the teacher, especially if they're in the teacher as much, but the students don't get to get away with the behaviour. Okay, they need to, consequences need to be followed up. Okay, the power of the pause is a big one. So don't, if students acting up, starts getting disrupted, just pause, look. Okay, you might feel the short fuse or the anger starting to build up, but just keep it down, bat it back down, keep going from there. So number two, avoid the power struggle. This is massive, and especially can be confronting when you're an early careers teacher. Even if you're not, the power struggle can be real, and especially, some of these students are big bodies these days and have a presence to them, it can be intimidating. Okay, so you just want to make sure to do your best to avoid the power struggle, because once you're in power struggle, all your options sort of get limited pretty quickly. Okay, so just strategies to avoid the power struggle, just, private dialogue. Cool, well, you're not getting away with this, but we'll address this later privately. Not a conversation for right now. And then obviously a redirection without shame. So don't just name and shame the student. Don't put them on the spot, especially if it's, don't call students out in front of the class and any of that stuff, because that's just it's not good practice. And then B, it puts a whole lot more emotion into the already volatile situation. Okay, so just reinforce the silence and space can be more powerful. So just take your time, don't react. And again, it's going to take a while to get there, but it will come. Next one, set clear, consistent expectations. So put in place like preventative routines, even routines in general. Having routines and having engagement in your lessons is going to be the key to sort of lowering or minimizing disruptive behavior. The more engaging your lessons are, the more routine students have, so they're not afraid of the unknown and they know what to expect. That cuts down or reduces the sort of disruptions in the class. Okay, then you don't have to rely so heavily on your low-key behaviour strategies or your behaviour strategies in general. But you want to make sure you've got routines for your class, how they enter the class, how they do transitions, seating plans, all that stuff. Okay, and then not the old phrase of don't smile to Easter here in Australia, so the first term. If you're a new teacher, just come across with hard expectations. Teaching's personalised, do it how you want, but then don't go in and sort of befriend the students and be afraid to not stamp your authority, but show that, you're the one in charge. The students want to be led, so you just want to make sure you're sort of heading in that direction. Well, my experience anyway, they want to be led. If students don't know so just back to that point, routines. If students don't know what to expect, that's where the uncertainty, that's where the anxiety starts to build up. Okay, so anything you can do to limit that, that's going to be sort of the key to creating that environment for your teaching, but then lowering sort of those low-key disruptive behaviours to mid-range disruptive behaviours. Use calm, specific language. Yeah, so like I've talked about in previous videos, address what the situation is. Okay, don't need you calling out right now. I'm talking, I need to get through this. don't be touching one another, I see you back there, make sure you're working. All those things are addressing behaviour. It's separated from the student. Okay, the student just keeps hearing, address the student with the name, but the student just keeps hearing, Johnny, you're no good at this. They're going to go, why am I doing this? You know, so I mean, it's that thin line between calling out the disruptive behaviour, but then separating from the student, you know, so they're accountable, but it's not just blaming and shaming. So, you know, anything you can do to sort of role model that, or sort of just bring attention to it, that's a step in the right direction to sort of help your behaviour management as well. Okay, avoid vague warnings like stop it. I mean, actually, I still do that to this day, but I could probably do it better. You know, stop, listen, pens down, eyes up here. I mean, it's easy, you know, people in the classroom don't understand that how much stuff is going on, how many decisions need to be made every minute. So, I mean, just to say stop, it can be, you know, trying to deal with everything else that's going on in your mind, but go back, be sort of directive in your instructions, directive in what you need to do, and your students to listen. Okay, and look at your rephrasing as well. Okay, instead of don't do that, I need to do this right now because paying attention now is going to help with the assessments, and the assessments is going to get you to a better mark, and a better mark gets you to more opportunity in life. Now that's going above and beyond, and you know, a bit of tongue in cheek there, but you know, I need to get in class on time because if you're not class on time, it holds everyone else's up learning. And then, you know, I've got you coming in late, and then before I know it, people see you coming in late, and then they start coming in late, and then I'm taking half an hour to get my class started. Okay, and my job is to educate you and hopefully get you better opportunities later in life. You know, so the students see the direct connection between what they need to do and what the outcome is. It limits that uncertainty in between, and the overall goal is it reduces the disruptive behaviours. What to do when it's not working. Some moments are going to go sideways. Okay, you're going to have moments in the classroom that go pear-shaped, but don't try plan to avoid that. You know, I mean, don't obviously go into it all the time either. Like, you have that middle ground. They go, okay, I'm going to have times where this isn't planned, and the lesson goes pear-shaped. Okay, the main thing there is stay calm and controlled and composed, but just realize it's going to happen as well. And the more you go through it and embrace, the more when it happens that you embrace it and you know you can get through it. That's where the confidence builds. Okay, and then from there, you know that you've been through it a couple of times. You know, lesson didn't go to plan or even went bad, sideways, pear-shaped, whatever, but you got through it. You survived and you still came out the other end, you know. Remind them, like it's okay to reset. Even to this day, nearly 20 years in teaching, I have bad lessons, okay, and I go home and I'm like, I don't take it on as much personally as I used to, but I'm like, okay, well could have done better, you know. And although those students frustrated me, the group of students or the pair of students or the one student in that lesson frustrated me, it was more than likely the way I planned the lesson and tried to deliver it wasn't the best. And sometimes it's the students as well. Sometimes students just come in and, you know, want to roll you up and see how far they can get. But don't hold grudges as a teacher. You know, don't let students get away with stuff. I keep them accountable, but don't hold grudges. And I say that anytime I've got to pull a student aside or, you know, keep them in recess and lunch for a few minutes to talk to about disruptive behaviour, I go, look, I don't hold grudges. Every time's a fresh start, but you got to come to the plate as well and make sure you modify your behaviour for the next lesson. And in my experience, students are quite understanding with that because, again, it separates their behaviour from the person. You don't dislike them as a person, but you're not accepting their behaviour either. Okay, and then finally, on that point of when a lesson goes pear-shaped, just you be the role model of staying calm and composed. Okay, now it's full on. You know, one teacher, it's 20 to 30 students in a classroom, stuff's going sideways, and then it's all looking at you, but just stay calm, okay? Because as soon as you start showing lack of confidence or showing a bit of whatever, insecurity or not, the students pick up on it. And it will happen, but just be aware of that, you know, and when you sort of at times that go on pear-shaped, run out of the room and just not go back in there again. Just face it, get through it, and it'll make you a better teacher and a better person. And then obviously get your support where you need as well. So, wrapping up, how to make, or the strategies I've found most important for behaviour management. Stay calm and composed. Okay, do have your expectations, keep it clear and concise, and then use your body language and all that tone. Okay, and you as a teacher, you're the role model to how to show that. Okay, if it goes beyond that, then just make sure you get access to your support and stuff like that. So, in the comments, let me know what strategy works best for you when it comes to behaviour management. Like always, thanks for listening, and I'll